All right, cool. I'm not sure who is going to be joining today, so we'll see. But I'd love to. We can go ahead and get started because we're 5 minutes in. Like, kick this off for some check-ins, and then I also have the first thing on the agenda, same as the last call, to see what's going on for the holidays with everyone's schedules and time off. But why don't we start off? I can start off first, as usual. My priority this week is to, I'm finalize an outreach, the outreach efforts around getting in front of new DeFi audiences. I can talk a little bit about that today to fill everyone in. Basically some general prep work, like some writing for Giveth year in review, and supporting where needed on our holiday campaign. Intention for the call is all these things and the agenda. No distractions for this call. Basically, all my distractions are in this call. So I'll go ahead and pass it. I'll pass it to you, Ashley.
Thank you. Let me just make sure I got both mute buttons. Okay, I got both mute buttons. My priority for comms this week is just to come through and make sure that I have all my issues taken care of, and I've got some email work to do in autopilot, just adding in different give power things and stuff to our emails that we already have in there. So I guess that's my biggest priority for comms. Intentions for the call to stream and just stay in the loop of what's going on here. Distractions is I'm getting hungry, so I might make a snack in the background, but I'm listening and I'm here. And I will pass it to Lauren.
Thanks, Ashley. My intentions are just to hang out and listen to what's going on. I mean, there's been a lot of kind of competing campaigns. There's the DeFi campaign, there's the Christmas campaign, and then there's the Phantom thing going on at the same time. So I just kind of want to instead of making everything blasting it out all in the next week, maybe we can try to work on pacing a little. So I just kind of want to see the scope of what people are working on, and then just provide a little bit of feedback in there. I'm a little bit distracted. I'm not distracted. I'm driving, but somehow that, it's not very distracting to drive and listen to a call. And I'm super excited to hear, Ashley, that you're going through the Give Power emails. My priority for the week is that I'm on vacation, but I'm going to keep making sure that the tweets are organized and that everything is scheduled and getting out. So I'm still reachable via DM, although I probably won't join many more calls beyond this one. I'll pass it to Ahmad.
Thanks, Lauren. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you all. First of all, thank you, everyone, for the nice messages and wishes and all that. That was really kind of all of you, so thank you. So my distraction mainly is I had a son last week, so I'm still not getting much sleep from that. But besides that, I'm here. Excited to get back into things. This week, mainly, I'm focusing on the newsletter. I want to send that out by the end of this coming week. Also, one thing is the newsletter platform that we're currently on is shutting down. So I need to find a new solution for our newsletter. So that's something I'm also working on. And also, I can also help out with the notifications that we need to send out as well. So I might reach out to you later, Ashley, to help out with that. And besides that, I'm excited to get back involved. And let me pass it on to who didn't go yet?
Jake?
Yeah, sure. Let's pass on to Jake.
Yeah,
hey, Jake.
Welcome back, Ahmad. Great seeing you. Great hearing you. That's one of my intentions for the call, just to hear Ahmad. Tom's priority for the week, though, is helping Corey out with this DeFi outreach. Other intentions, just be active, listen up, I know we have a skeleton crew this week, so maybe lend a hand if needed. Distractions, got none. And let's see, I don't think Claire is gone.
I haven't, Jake. Thanks. Welcome back, Ahmad. Congratulations. Hope you've been enjoying all those tiny baby cuddles. My focus for comms this week is I'm just putting some content, doing the content batching for social media into Plannable, based around the tweet topics that you've got going out over the rest of the year. Also, to help with some of the content, in particular, sourcing stats and metrics for the year-end review, and anything else that I can help out with. And that's my intention for the call as well, just to make sure that I've covered everything off that I need to. I am taking some time off to the end of the year, but I will still be doing a few hours here and there just to make sure I've got everything covered off. I don't have any distractions. I am here. I think I'm last, am I?
No, I'm here.
Oh, sorry.
Kotabe, Mango. Yeah. Okay, Kotabe, you go ahead. Yeah.
It's okay, no worries. Ahmad, when did you really get much sleep? Like, I see you connected every time. But congratulations, my friend. I'm so happy. I'm so happy about it.
Oh, thanks.
Welcome. My intentions for this week is for the call is just to see where can I help. I know there's a lot of comms lately, and I want to support in that. So if I can help anywhere, I have the bandwidth this week. My top priority is still to pinpoint what's the best way to, like, just in general for the week, pinpoint what's the best way for the Flea partnership. And I have no distraction. Well, I'll have to leave to the airport in a few hours to drop my mom, but like other than that, no distraction. I'll pass it to Tropical Mango.
Hey guys, I have a bit of a distraction. I've had a headache all day, so I'm going to keep it short. Intention is the campaigns, get those wrapped up that I've been working on, wrap up grants, and yeah, I'm going to pass to... It looks like everybody's gone.
I think you're good, yeah. Yeah, I think that's everybody. Feel better. Headaches suck. They're the worst, especially when you do computer work.
Yes, my eyes hurt so much.
Yeah, you gotta take breaks from the computer. It's the only way. But that's hard. So maybe join this call with your eyes closed today. But yeah, cool. Welcome everyone. Big congrats, Ahmad, and kudos for being here in whatever state you're in. So yeah, very exciting. Lots of cool stuff. Also, I don't know how you just did those wavy hearts, but that's really awesome. Maybe you have to upgrade to Nitro or something. Really cool. Yeah, so we can just go ahead and kick off some of these things. I also added the newsletter then to the agenda as well. I think I got everything else that we're talking about here. So, right. I think first and foremost, really quick, would be good to understand like who is here during the holidays and next week. Like I did already hear a little bit from the last call, the Communitas call that like I think like Almond said she's going to be out. Claire, you mentioned that you have some days off, but like are people going to be here? Let's say that, you know, I'm thinking immediately about the call next week. Who's actually going to be online on Tuesday next week, for example, to start?
I will.
I'll be here.
I'm here as well.
Yep, and me too.
Okay. I am too, so...
And Nicola says her too.
Okay. That's not a bad crew. What do you think about keeping our meeting in place? Because I think, I mean, it could go either way. We had this discussion in the last call, right? Either we're cranking out some things and like getting up to speed and cleaning out our issues and like, getting ready for the new year, or we can still hold the space to go through topics.
I think since Communitas and governance is looking to be removed as well, it might be good just to kind of keep ours so that we do have one kind of little bit of a group meeting in the first couple days.
Yeah, we could also see how this meeting goes, and at the end of the meeting take a note on like whether we need to meet next week or not, like depending on what our workload looks like after going through the agenda.
Okay. I kind of agree with both of those things, right? So we can do it that way, because also, as Lauren already referenced, we have a lot of campaigns going on. Like comms never stops, right? And actually, this is also a really interesting time of year. We also, we can come up with the agenda for next week that's most relevant. If it doesn't make sense to talk about other things because a lot of people are missing, we can focus on, I don't know, something, we could actually have a couple deep dives on maybe topics that have been on the side for a while. So for now, I'll plan, like, let's plan to have the meeting, but we can also, we can decide if it doesn't make sense, or if we get through everything, or if we determine at the end of this call. So cool. Then I think we can move on from that. And if anyone else, we'll just have them add their name in here. But I think that's everyone that's going to be in, from what I understood as well. Cool. So moving on, we have, I thought the first thing to touch base on that would make sense is the holiday campaign. That, I know, Mango, you've been spearheading that, but there's other people involved as well. Just wanted to do a check-in on this and make sure everyone's aware, and also see where we need assistance on this to move it forward, because it is involving several different channels. And I could also use an update on this because I haven't had the capacity to look at this. So I know, Mango, you're not feeling well. Are you okay to speak on this for a minute?
Yeah. So it's gone through revisions. I'm just tagged a couple people to do the final look. And yeah, I mean, Alman had already given some feedback. So, it has to go through 2 reviews. So I've implemented the feedback already, and it's just kind of on the final review stage. So this campaign is pretty much good to go, pending maybe a second set of eyes.
Okay. And we're looking at email campaigns here, and we're looking at drafts.
Alman did some tweets.
And tweet drafts. Yeah.
Alman made the tweets, and I reviewed them today and scheduled them for like this week. I don't think the tweets necessarily need to coincide with the emails, because they're also just kind of like independent threads with projects and stuff. So I put one for like mid next week and one for later this week. I put them kind of like, before the end of the year, but I tried to put like the Christmas ones, before Christmas.
Also, guys, like with reviews, I think sometimes it's a bit too many cooks in the kitchen. That's what I'm feeling, because it's like I've already implemented feedback from Lauren and Alman, and now Alman, I see your new additions, and it's like, I think we need to have a cutoff point where it's like, I don't know how you guys feel about that, but it just feels like it could go on forever. Because even Katabe, like I saw you commented in there, and I implemented that feedback. It's gone through like a lot. So what's the process when it's like 10 people jumping in, because it feels like it's never going to get done.
My understanding is like the base rule is having 2 reviewers. If it's a really complicated piece of content, or really, I don't know, like a launch blog, there may be more reviewers, but I would say for something like this, 2 should be enough per piece. If everyone, what are the other thoughts around that?
So what happened? Sorry.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I have 2 reviewers, and like a good way of doing it is like try to think of who you actually want to have review the piece. Like sometimes you want to have like somebody who like really understands like the technical concept, and then at least somebody who's like good at doing the grammar stuff. So like make sure that you have like a grammar type person and a like understands the concept type person. I think one way of limiting like the too many cooks thing is like to limit the people that you tag. I mean, you can always tag more people, but sometimes it's a good idea to be like, I would love. Huh?
I didn't tag those people that jumped in. There's other people jumping in.
That's fine too. I mean, it's just a suggestion, not like a criticism of what you did, but yeah. To your reviewers, try to get at least one technical person, one grammar person, and then like comment in the issue and be like, great, it's good to go. And also like I think like in this case, Tropical Mango, since you're the person who's like drafting them, like you kind of like have the final say on things. You don't need to incorporate absolutely everybody's feedback all the time. And yeah, and in general, if you're looking at a piece and you already know a bunch of people have already reviewed it, like maybe don't put your time into reviewing it again. In general, for everybody.
Got it. Okay, that helps. Thanks.
Also, one thing I would add to that is like, you know, it's also like what needs to be reviewed. Like I'm relatively Twitter savvy, right? Lauren is too. Like some people have like, and for instance, like I would prefer to be tagged a lot less in the email campaigns. I can of course review emails, but you know, if you're tagging for both tweets needing reviews and emails needing reviews, instead of like, I'm seeing like basically the same 3 people being tagged, and we have other people like Ashley, for example, would probably be really great to tag on email reviews. Or Ahmad, maybe because you guys have been working with emails a lot more, and then maybe we can divide and conquer reviews a little bit easier. You know, that kind of levels out capacity also across the group. So just a tip, like I think that might be also a good thing to keep in mind. So to that point, do these then need still final reviews, or have they been reviewed by 2 people? Just asking.
The campaign has been reviewed by Lauren, by Alman, and Katabe for feedback. So and myself, obviously. So I feel like for me, it's good to go. The onboarding campaign. Okay, that's a different topic. I'll wait for that one. But yeah, I'm sorry, Alman. I think this is good to go. I know you've put some comments in there, but it's, yeah.
Yeah, like just, I mean, what I would say is, I mean, like the comments that I mentioned were just like very small things. Like one of them was for the subject line, and the other one was like basically just to have like some figures around like how much was raised on Giveth. I mean, yeah, like these are both very, very small things. I mean, it's just, you know, like some small things that I think might make it a little bit better. I mean, but I think it's good to go as it is.
The subject line was already discussed in previous revisions, and the figures you put are already mentioned already in the email. So I feel like it's already mentioned already. So I would prefer to just mark this one as done because it has gone through several reviews, and next time I know who to tag for emails and who to tag for tweets. But yeah, I just feel like this is like 5, I don't know, it's a lot of people looking at it. I didn't tag all these people.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
I feel like it's done, guys.
This has gone through review, right? Yeah. It's okay. Yeah.
My suggestion was mainly just about, you know, like making it more about what we want them to do, which is like
call to action.
I mean, like we don't want them to say, I mean, it's mainly about we want them to do something before the end of this year. Yeah, I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, it's just like something that I thought might make it better. But yeah, I mean, it's all good if you want to send it as it is. And yeah, I mean, like from my point of view, like if I'm sending out a newsletter, yeah, like as long as someone sends me suggestions before I send it out, yeah, like I don't really care how many suggestions or how many people comment on it. I mean, but I do get. I mean, like you're like, yeah. I mean, I guess like you don't want too many comments, but at the same time, like I think that if it's something minor, if you think it's good, then you could include it. Otherwise, then yeah, like you don't need to include it.
I think it's already incorporated that feedback later on in the email. The subject line was already changed, and that feedback was implemented. So I think it's good to go, guys.
Okay,
yeah.
I would just agree. These are pretty impactful suggestions from a sales perspective, like from an outreach, like for the goal of the campaign, right? Which is like right there, first name, because then otherwise you got to scroll all the way down. Just saying, I think these are really. Just giving my 2 cents on that, which I know is exactly the thing you're looking to avoid having too much input. But it's impactful to have the numbers right there in the first line, and also the subject line is actually kind of important to draw people in. So, yeah, it's. I guess it just comes down to like I do think it's interesting to have like specializations in reviews. Like, because there is a strategy behind sending out email campaigns, there's also a strategy to formulating tweets, because you have to understand the technical background of Twitter, the algorithm and all of that, and how to do that strategically. So like it's something I think that we could maybe improve on across comms. Is that doesn't mean like always the same exact people review everything, but at least we could have maybe a list of best reviewers to tag for specific comms materials, to make this a little bit easier, because I understand your point, Mango, but also I think, for instance, this input's really good. Like it makes email a lot stronger.
And maybe we can just like make a GitHub issue to like compile that list, and we could like pin it in our repo or something, so that when people are creating issues, they could just go and reference it and be like, these are the people who are good for this issue. So maybe we can just create an issue to compile a list of like best reviewers, and then whoever's in charge of taking that on can like have it be their responsibility to like check in with people and get some advice process on this list. And then we could just get them to reach out to everybody and be like, hey, Ahmad, what are you good at reviewing? Blah, blah, blah. And put that content somewhere that's easily accessible for anybody. I think it's a great idea, Corey.
Yeah, because otherwise it's just kind of like you learn over time, and actually we can make this a lot clearer, right? So yeah, based on like topic, platform, and format. Okay, I'm just gonna throw that in there. Yeah, but in general, great job on leading this, Mango. Really appreciate it, and it's awesome. And Almond too, who I think is not here right now, but really cool. So I let me know if you need anything else. And is there anything else that you want to speak to on this topic?
No, I mean that's fine. I'll just put in your suggestions then, Ahmed. I just have to update those numbers because I got different numbers from Griff. So as long as they match the ones later in the email, then it works. And then just wondering if I should schedule those out on the timing of them, because like Lauren said, there's a couple, or you said, Corey, I can't remember. There's a couple campaigns happening.
I think you can coordinate with Lauren like over DM on that, and that would be the best way, right, Lauren?
Sure. I mean, I actually think, I'm not sure if we have a lot of other things competing for email slots. It's more like for Twitter. Yeah, so I think Tropical Mango, once you are ready with them, then the best people to talk to are like Ahmad or Ashley, who are working in autopilot, or I think you know how to do them as well yourself. You can kind of like set them up for the cadence you think is appropriate. Just so it's not to like coincide with the newsletter, for example. I think that's the only other thing, but Ahmad and Ashley have the insight there.
Okay, I'll connect with you, Ahmad, because I think you said you're sending out the newsletter, right?
Yeah, I mean, but I think that you could send this out next week, because I probably won't send the newsletter out at least for like a week and a half. So yeah, next week. or even this week would be fine.
Okay.
Can I just one thing I do want to point out though is that we have these, like, the issues tied to this epic are sitting in new issues and backlog, but then we're working. Oh no, is this an epic? Oh no, it's not. Okay. What?
It looks like it is in epic.
It is an
right?
epic. Yes, it is an epic. Right. I'm like, what am I? But okay, so you're working through this epic and planning to close it because we have the drafts here in review. So I think ideally the way this just FYI should be set up is like the tweets are set up as their own issue under this epic. And then you have the emails set up as their own issue under the epic. So there should be like another 2 issues here that are moving both right now to review QA status. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll do that one next time if that's okay. Or you want me to do it for this?
I can help you with that. I know you're not feeling well. It's just for organization and also tracking, and then we have it tied to this epic, and it's a little bit easier also, like, for oversight of a campaign, right? Like, we want to put, the idea is like you can use the epic as a shell, but the epic will just sit under epics, for example, instead of moving through this flow, because now you'd have to move this back somewhere because you still have issues tied, like you can't close it. So just to clarify, it would make sense, like you need to break down all the different components involved with that campaign into their own individual issues, and then each one can move through the flow as needed, right? As those pieces of content get created. So yeah, I can copy and paste some stuff or link it over at least, and then we'll just have a cleaner epic here. Just want to point it out, but no worries. That's just how we can improve next time.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, awesome. If it's okay with you, I'd move on to the next topic. That would be around the, let's see, we have a couple of things here. It's something I just wanted to mention really quick. I think Suga's not on this call, but I kind of put out a little like cry for help because I really need some support on one thing. And I can also give a quick update in general on this other campaign we're working on, which is getting in front of, Giveth really needs an increase in volume of donations. And so one campaign that I've also been spearheading is to try over the holiday season to get us in front of like new audiences of DeFi users. And so that's like a concerted campaign involving outreach to DeFi protocols, or we are also in touch with like Gnosis Chain or organizations with large newsletters like Bankless, and seeing if they're willing to incorporate us into incorporate us as a blurb into their holiday newsletter. And also have prepped a tweet thread that they could quote tweet. Looking to schedule that tomorrow now. And this tweet thread has actually been reviewed and is basically ready to go, except for one thing, and that's, tweets it's quite impactful to have imagery in tweets. And and basically the idea that I had for like the first tweet is to have something involving holiday theme, perhaps, could be a meme that has a call to action saying, and the tweet is sort of positioning Giveth as like DeFi for good, to speak to audiences that maybe don't know our lingo in this niche. They may be completely outside of refi, for example, but they're in DeFi. So it's a little along the lines of converting degen to regen. So that's why the idea would be to have an image that has a call to action, like do good this holiday season, or do good with DeFi, donate this holiday season, something like this. I'm feeling spread pretty thin, and this is not my strongest suit. I'm getting better at making memes and such, but like I could really use, if anyone's able to jump in or has extra capacity this week, like could really use the support to get something created today. And Suga had put something out like in the comms channel, which is like a cool start, but I think maybe we could still improve on that. But I kind of like what she did there. So if anyone,
I would just love to say, like, you know, memes are like it's hard to get a good meme on your first try. And the best way to do them is like quantity over quality, at least to start. So if like everybody in the call could just make 3 memes and like don't even have to spend a long time on it, but just take 15 minutes, go to Image Flip, or you could Google like meme creator and then it will send you to anyone, but Image Flip is pretty nice. Make 3 memes to try to like suit this theme and just throw them in the meme channel. It'll take like very little time from everyone. And then at least Corey will have like some inspiration, just different ideas. And then like that would even, if there's like not one that's perfect, you could just tweak it a little and call it a day. Can everybody do that? Just make 3 memes. You can even do them like while you're distracted in this call. Just throw 3 memes in the meme channel.
That would be amazing. I'd really appreciate it. If you look in the comms channel, like that's where Suga had posted one. But it's quite time sensitive because like we want to put the tweet out tomorrow, and this is a campaign to hopefully bring in more donations quickly, which ties to our fundraising efforts, which ties to the success of Giveth. So like you're trying to make this tweet as potentially as impactful as possible and like attractive. So would really appreciate the help because I'm just trying to stay afloat with managing the whole thing.
Somebody shared a link once where you could go to a site to make memes, I think. I picked up in.
Yeah.
Could you share that again, please? I'll give it a go. It looked like it made it a lot easier.
That was this can someone throw the Image Flip?
Yeah, if anyone could just Google Image Flip. I could do it, but I'm driving. It's a little hard to juggle. But like imgflip.com or whatever.
I think this Image Flip. Yeah, this one. So it's basically like on the top right, you can say make a meme or make a GIF, which is a video, a moving image. Actually, both are options, right? But to make a meme, you just click on this, and then you can actually search, like, you kind of get the hang of it, but it's like, you've seen some of the ones that we've used, like you search like ARM, and then it shows you like the popular one, like the epic handshake one. You click on it, and then it literally populates already automatically, like where you would put things. So you could upload like a Giveth logo or rocket, that's how we made the rocket ones, but you like put it there. And then when you type in text, it like auto populates, so it makes it pretty easy. I was trying to find like a holiday one, but yeah, I just keep getting pulled away from doing this. So that's why I'm asking for help. But yeah, if anyone has any good ideas, I like the idea. Like if you're willing to make like just a few, like 3, there's got to be a gem in all of those somewhere, even if you're not confident about it. Like you'd be surprised, and that would help a lot. And I'm sure we can come up with something today between all of us.
Like what can we reference to find out more about like the context? It's basically we're just memeing the idea of transforming degens to regens, or is there like more to it?
It's right here. So basically, the context is it should support this tweet thread.
Oh, okay.
Which is linked in the. This is linked in the agenda.
Okay, perfect.
And this speaks to DeFi audiences who do not know Giveth. And we want the call to action, since tweets are very limited. There's only so much information you could put in here. So it's strategically written to position ourselves as DeFi for good instead of using our usual language. I left out public goods on purpose because a lot of people don't even know what that means outside of the space. Or like I left out, refi even, and position as DeFi for good. And then the idea is well, that first tweet should still have a call to action. And that's where we could write something like, do good with DeFi this holiday season, or do good with DeFi. And then the second line at the bottom of the meme is like, donate this holiday season, or something that's basically saying donate and DeFi is good kind of thing. That's my idea. If you have other ideas, please go ahead. But I think the meme should represent the call to action. In an image, and then the rest of the tweet you'll see, but it basically talks about what we've done with Giveth. It references like Give Power a bit in our roadmap, and that we're innovating, and that we're trying to get the word out in the wider DeFi ecosystem, and then another call to action. So pretty simple. So, I mean, I think that's pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, let me know. I really appreciate your support on that, because I think, it'll be cool to get this out tomorrow and see. And we're launching all the outreach efforts today. Really, one thing also I wanted to mention is I was speaking with Monique today, because we have a biweekly sync. And he did mention that if we like, they're likely able to very quickly implement or update a banner for us for comms. So he essentially said, this could also be a landing page, for instance, or it could just be a banner that links to like a blog post. He was asking what might be most useful for us. And that's something that I wanted to open up briefly for discussion, and to get your opinions on what we think might be good. We had this topic before, and we were talking about like the Iranian campaign that we didn't move forward with. But in general, this is something that'd be really cool to have for ongoing comms campaigns, and like something he could implement it this week already that we could use already for like the holiday campaigns, for example. Did anyone have any input on that? Because I wasn't really sure how to respond to whether we want a landing page or simply a banner that links out to things. We have talked about having it linked to filtered projects for like themed campaigns, right? Where we're maybe promoting certain groups of projects together.
A landing page be like a whole separate page on the app that's like just to show whatever we're showing?
He had pinged me some examples, like Zapier has one. Hang on, let me see. I can actually throw in the link really fast. Or take
I think that in our case, it could just be like the normal page with the projects, and then on top there's just a banner and maybe one or two sentences underneath. Something like that might just be like simple to do,
Yeah.
like just like a holiday page.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Maybe we could just implement a banner on the projects page. That does seem. I'm just interested in what this landing page thing is about, but. We do have a banner on the homepage, but honestly, I find it to be like quite low, and I'm not really sure who's ever getting there. But if we put it like right at the top of the projects page, something about some kind of campaign that we're doing, like we could put one up there, and then that says like give back this holiday season, that has like some Santa hats and snowflakes and like whatever. That would be really cool. And I don't know. I think that's just like a great idea. And sometimes they can link somewhere, and if they don't link anywhere, and the purpose is just like to tell people to donate, then we can also have it that way. The thing that we do need to do though is like if we ever want to change these banners, we need to work with Rodri, or I think there's another designer now, Jess, to create them for us. So whoever is kind of like leading a campaign, or if like we have like, okay, we want to be featuring like certain projects or something. We need to tell like Rodri clearly some specifications for like what we want to see in the banner.
Yeah, and Monique said for this one, I literally can just DM him a paragraph or something with some suggested graphics, and he could get together with Rodri on it to do like, this is for a quick implementation this week. And then he also mentioned that there is a plan to revamp the homepage, which I think is great because that's been a topic on my mind for a while as well. So if there's a revamp coming, then a banner on the homepage might be a lot more effective. Because I do like that idea that, like, I mean, obviously we're kind of already doing it. We have a banner for like Give Power right there. I mean, that is what we're talking about, linking to like our latest launch or our latest comms campaign. But they could be much better positioned, right, to be more effective. So I like the idea of having it on top of the projects page for now, like that. Yeah, but it would require some regular updating, as you said.
Yeah, and I think for now, like as a quick thing, if you want to just like make it the holiday campaign kind of thing, just mention if you like send Roger a message, ask him to make the banner. You could do it through Monique as well, but it seems actually faster if you just like ask Roger for what you want, and then once Roger creates the graphic, give it to Monique and be like, "Can we put this at the top of the project page?" And it's just like the kind of the bottleneck is really, I think, design.
Okay. Does anyone else have something they want to add there? Just checking.
I think for the future, we might want to make them as like separate sections on the site. But yeah, like probably for this one, it would just be on the main project page.
Separate sections, as in like the banners on a separate area, or like you're talking about a landing page?
Or like a new page, yeah. So basically, if we could just like duplicate like the product page and just put it on a new URL. And then just there we can add different filters on it and add a different banner to it if we wanted to. I mean, so like, you know, if we wanted to do, you know, like a campaign around like a certain topic, then it would be super easy just to spin up a new page, and then we can choose what the filters are, switch up what the banner is on top, and then that's it.
Yeah, it is kind of then it's its own landing page, right? That's filtered out certain projects.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think I can envision that now, actually. That makes a lot of sense. For these themed, comms campaigns around grouped projects, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think for the holiday one, it doesn't really make sense to have a separate page because, yeah, I mean, we want them to donate to all of the projects, and there's not really like a selection. But, you know, in the future, if there was a selection, then maybe having a new page would make sense.
Yeah, like Indigenous Day. If we're doing a campaign for Indigenous Day, we could like have a themed landing page around this because it's a pretty significant topic, and like group the projects together that are raising funds for Indigenous communities or something like this, right?
Yeah.
Is it like just as trying to take a concrete example?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and following up with that idea, maybe it will serve to start creating one year calendar and just mark what can be the opportunities that we can grab on to make these campaigns. We can do it like at the beginning of the year, which is now, and then have it guiding us for the rest of the year.
Yeah, we could have a calendar around that. Yeah, that's for sure. And then also, this would help us with tracking, right, and metrics, because then we get click rates to like the specific landing page, right? So we can see literally how we're funneling traffic and that kind of thing. Like, wouldn't that also be something that's easier for us to measure effectiveness of campaigns?
Yeah, for sure, definitely. And I think also though, like if we do change like the homepage or the banner on the project page, I mean that might be something that we do if it's like a larger campaign that we want to have over all of our projects. I mean, like the holiday one, for example. But if there's ever like another case, then we could also, do that, for the main banners as well. And like that wouldn't really need a separate landing page.
Okay, cool. Okay. Nice. Well, then I think I know like what I can get back to him this week about, or I can get back to him today about the holiday campaign this week. And then we can also, we could talk about this again next week, actually. I think this is a good topic to just flesh out. But in general, this makes a lot of sense. Especially when it comes to, I think, like understanding, like we're putting all these efforts into these campaigns right now. And then there's always the question of like, how do we measure them better and better so we know the effectiveness of like what we're doing and what to change? Because it would be interesting to see if we put all this effort into it and we see like a very, very low trickle of traffic over to that area, right? Or maybe a very high one if we change something up. So sweet.
Oh wait, sorry. Mm-hmm. I have just on what you were just saying. I have noticed that like it's like a little bit quieter right now with everybody on holidays. So that I do think that like the taking advantage of holiday season and gifting and donating is a nice idea. But also maybe we should kind of like take some of this effort that we're putting and like allow it to extend into kind of like a new year kind of thing. Like start the New Year's off right with these campaigns, and kind of be trying to draw more donations in that way. It's just even like I'm looking at like scheduling tweets and I'm like, okay, cool, this one will go on Christmas. I wonder if we'll see that tweet on Christmas morning, It's like, well, maybe some people will, but I do think that like it's worthwhile to take some of the awesome outreach stuff. Like for example, the DeFi outreach, maybe instead of being like just for your holiday newsletter, it could be like, or your first your newsletter of the year, talking about like starting the New Year's right kind of thing. So just like, that's just like a general thought for all of these campaigns that we're doing right now to like allow us the possibility of like having them go into January as well. And then like, therefore making them more impactful. I am a little concerned about like, it's so nice that we're putting all this effort in expanding our reach, but it just seems like maybe not the right time when nobody's on their social media or nobody's on their computer because everyone's with family. So we have to find kind of a good balance there.
Yeah,
my 2 cents on that, just joining in too, is I'm just thinking about with the campaign that Corey and I are running right now with the kind of the return the favor of the newsletter. I know we need to keep track of that, and I know Ahmad isn't going to want to be like bombarded with having to put like 5 blurbs in January because that's when the return of a favor from the 5 newsletters that we might be put in the next week or so. So it's just kind of like tracking and making sure we're spacing this out so that our return favors aren't overloaded for January as well. So thinking about the other side of it.
Yep. That's a really good point. Yeah. And I mean, thank you for bringing it up because I had the same thought. Like, it's also something we could tweak a bit. The holidays for me, like, run through, at least like in America, they run through January 1st. But like in general, like the holiday season, right, is not up till Saturday. It's up for like a couple of weeks, but it could also be like, it's always good. You're right. Like it could be like, we could literally just quickly throw in something around like, and starting off the new year, right, to like leave that window open. Yeah. Okay, and sorry, Jake, you were just saying yes. That's okay. I will touch base briefly on the newsletter, because that's also needs to be then prioritized for this week. But Ahmad, you're planning to send this out before the end of the month, right? You said sometime.
I mean, if anyone would like me to send it out earlier, I could, but usually I send it out at the very end of the month. So, I mean, that would basically fall on next week. So, like the end of next week. So, probably, like maybe on the 30th.
Okay. If there's anything missing from this list, please snag the link here from the agenda, and I can also add it into the Discord. But like throw anything in here that we might be missing. This also directly correlates to added in the chat to the Giveth year in review blog post that I'll be writing soon, or that I've already outlined. Actually, I'll need to make sure to add these things in there.
I want to mention to both of you guys that I asked Rodri to make a special POAP for Givebacks round 27, which starts on December 27th, because it's like our 1 year anniversary of Givebacks. It's like actually we've done Givebacks for a whole year, and Ashley had some great suggestions about like putting some stats as to like how much give was given out throughout these rounds, and yeah, that's kind of cool. And then also it's really interesting because the first round of this year is also the first round where we have give power affecting how givebacks are distributed. So it's like we have this special year anniversary POAP thing that's going to be like a GIF POAP, like animated and stuff. So I think it'll be cool to include in the newsletter. And I know I've already spaced on what you were adding, Corey, but I was like, and in that too. But yeah, just wanted to mention those things.
Yeah, so like 1 year anniversary for givebacks on December 27th. You're saying like total that we've distributed up till then, right?
Yeah, and Ashley had up till round 24. We won't know all of them until round 26 is distributed, but if we could get like those stats, and I mean, it was already really cool. It was like $600,000 worth of give was distributed to donors over this past year, which is kind of like really, wow, that's a lot of rewards. And it's like really cool that we like ran this program for a full year with the up to 75% back, and now Give Power means that it's like the community gets to decide how they're distributed.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, cool. I threw that into the issue. That's a really good one. And I mean, maybe that leads me really quick into like the Giveth year in review. Just as an FYI, I think I have this up here somewhere. Yes. Just kind of putting this in front of everyone one more time. This is kind of one so the opposite of what we were talking about before. This is one where I'd actually love a lot of quick reviewers on it. There's already been people in here. But just want to make sure we're covering everything. I'll have to add in a bunch for December now based on like that list, Ahmad, from this newsletter. But I went through all the previous newsletters and compiled the major points per month. Looking to create something similar to kind of along the lines of, you know what, maybe I can find the issue really quick. Cello actually sent out a year in review email. And just to give you an idea of like what we're looking to put together. So so this is the issue. And if you see anything missing, basically I just love your input over the next like couple of days. So I can start actually writing the thing. And as an example of like what I'll be looking to format, it'll be probably similar to this. So like Cello sent out an email that was it's just like season's greetings, probably like, you know, thank yous, a little bit of an intro. story, you know, and then in a sense highlights of all the major milestones of this year. So I kind of like how they put this together. It's also kind of cool how they have a metrics graphic. So if anyone would want to support me on maybe the graphics or the metrics around this, like that might be also really cool to have imagery. I kind of like how they did that. But in general, this is pretty simple. It's just outlining with lots of links, the major milestones, links to, you know, blog posts, all the stuff that we've documented, tweet threads. And then they do have a section that's like key growth metrics that they have accomplished for the past year. And I think this is really awesome. So just want to also like highlight that. I think Clary said that you're already aware of this, but also just want to make sure you know about this, Ahmad. And yeah, could use support from the group to make this as strong as possible. And then I likely will put this out as a blog post, I would assume. And then that could also be emailed. So trying to get that together to be finalized. Ideally, like we should send that out before the new year, because I think that's the best timing for this stuff.
I added a link to a sheet that I've started creating for metrics. I've started putting some numbers in there, collecting them from different places. I've tagged a few people in the issue that I think might have more number ideas. It's in the issue somewhere.
Thank you. So that's just a big FYI. And yeah, we are at the top of the hour. So unless there's anything else, definitely want to open up a minute for that. Is there anything else that we need to cover today?
One thing I wanted to mention, the Stuga made a great summary of the Green Pill podcast that then, I mean, since it was such a great summary, I was like, why don't we just make this a blog and try to publish it as soon as possible? So Griff is going to review it today, and we might like also have that piece of content going out. It's basically a summary of all the coordination mechanisms that Griff and Kevin Owaki talked about in the Green Pill podcast like last week or 2 weeks ago. So it's kind of like a cool extra piece of content that I just want everybody to know about. And it could probably use another reviewer besides Griff. So if you want to jump in there, I don't know what issue it is, but it's in the Giveth planning board.
Okay. Awesome. And then that's also a really good one for the newsletter, if that's not already in the list. Cool. Well, thanks everyone. We're at the top of the hour, and I think this was a really effective meeting. I probably am leaning towards we keep the meeting for next week. Anyone have opposition to that? Is that something we want to decide right now? I can also just hold it, and we can, if for some reason there's a reason that we should cancel it, we can determine that. But I would lean more direction, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I guess see how we feel, but yeah, it would be nice to have a chat next week if anyone is free.
Yeah, and what you could always do is similar to what Mitch did, and he just dropped kind of like a thumbs up or thumbs down poll, and he did it in the governance channel. You could always do it in the comms channel later this week and just get a feeling by doing something like that. I thought that was a good idea, Mitch.
Okay. All right. So yeah, let's assume it's on. I can still drop a poll later in the week. Something changes, but I think like with all the stuff going on, it would make sense to sync next week. So yeah, let's see how we feel. And otherwise, yeah, have a great rest of your day. Thank you for the support. And anyone who's not around next week, like have a great time off. Also you, Lauren.
Thanks, Corey. Chat with everyone later.
Thank you, Corey. Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Corey.
Bye.
Thanks. See you soon.